presentation of 13ABC Action News. Now, your table is ready. Join 13ABC's Jeff Smith with the decision makers of Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. This is the Roundtable.
And a good Sunday afternoon to you once again here on the Roundtable program. Thank you so much for carving out a little bit of your Sunday afternoon to spend with us here on 13ABC. Over the years, we have spent so much time giving you the stories of people reaching out to the community, going far above and beyond the call of duty. One of those great organizations here in Toledo, ISOH Impact, the International Services of Hope, reaching out to people across the region and across the world for that matter. When there is a need, they meet the call. Now, here in the Toledo area, they are asking for your help, your assistance in their efforts. They want to create a community area, a community center that is for the people and kind of by the people as well. But it doesn't happen, as you know, in this economy without money, and trying to get that kick-started here today on the Roundtable. We have members of the ISO Impact family. We are so glad to have with us Dr. Linda Green joining us, no stranger to the fans and folks out there who are watching the show, President and CEO of ISO. Next to her, Lori Kazmierzak. She is Executive Director of Operations. Both of you, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And also with us, Dr. Jennifer DeLucia. She is Assistant Volunteer Medical Director with ISOH Impact. And also Mr. Izzet Cesari. He is the General Manager at Hilton Garden Inn in Perrysburg, where this event that we're going to talk about happens later this week. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Linda, as we have talked over the years, and I can remember in doing interviews with you guys in the times when we've had, and people are no stranger to hearing the words Bucket Brigade. They know what that means. It's become a household term.
That's true. They know Bucket Brigade, now they know Kids Against Hunger.
Yeah.
And they also kind of know about the International Hope Center, because this has been a long time coming. But I kind of want to know why, is that why you are doing this Hope Gala? I am just totally flabbergasted that you would say, I just walked in one day and said, I need some help, and he goes, sit down, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do.
And what we're talking about is later this week, on Thursday the 28th, you are putting on the first ever Hope Gala there at the Hilton Garden Inn in Perrysburg. So Linda has taken...
We have a $400,000 matching grant that we're trying to meet.
Okay.
So the Deal family is showing up to kind of look over to see how we're doing.
And for people who aren't familiar, you have property right now on the Levis Commons complex.
A whole acre.
Yeah.
And I just talked to him recently via email, and he said, you know, good luck, I'll try to be there, don't know if I can, but he gave an acre of land, and we purchased the other.
What are you guys trying to put there?
It is called a Hope Center.
Okay.
It's going to have a lot of stuff in there. But I wanted to ask him why he did that. Why did you do
She is turning the table. She is playing host at this point. She is driving. No. I wish everybody would play journalist on this show, and I could just put a lazy boy in the position that I'm in. But Izzet, please continue with her question.
Well, yes. We believe all Linda's effort and the organization effort, what they do for the community. We would like to be a part of this. I mean, we are a part of this community, and I personally went and see the Bucket Brigade Command Center and participate. My wife did as well. So is my staff when they volunteered. Basically, go there, and also Hilton Worldwide has a biggest initiative to be involved in the community. What a perfect way to be involved with the community, because we truly believe what Linda does and what the organization does is very important for our community we live in. We all need to be part of the community and hold it somewhere, put our hands under the brick, as they say. And our role in that is we host many different fundraisers and everything, but in this case, knowing the challenges she has, we wanted to step up the plate, just like everybody else in the community needs to do. Because this center that we are talking about today is going to serve to this community. It cannot, it can't be any closer than this.
Not too far from where you're located right now, obviously.
That also being part. And because Linda's challenge, we wanted to be part of the solution. And we thought that what we could do, they say, think global but act local. And
that's a good way
and we wanted to we wanted to provide the goods and services for this Hope Gala.
Free of charge.
That's correct.
Wow. How about that?
Anybody that buys a ticket, that automatically gets doubled by the Dill Family Foundation.
Okay.
Because that's the matching grant that we're doing. So.
And people to get tickets, and we're going to give you the specifics here coming up in our next segment.
And they can get them up to the day before, because that's okay. We did put a time limit on it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We want people to come to see what ISOH Impact is doing.
Yeah.
And how we're going to be a network. A hub for the community.
Lori, we hear 13 ABC, the Blade, the Toledo Free Press, all of the media outlets here in town, radio stations. I don't want to mention anybody who's on the internet, anybody who's done any reporting about ISOH Impact over the years. We are given that small little window on the evening news or the morning news. Hopefully they're watching the morning news. But we're given that small little window to tell the story. But it goes so far beyond that 1 minute, 30 seconds that we devote to what's going on. What is happening right now? And for people who don't know the inner workings of how tough it is to really provide these services.
It is tough. We all know the economy is in shambles. We know that every family is struggling just to cover their own responsibilities and their own bills. And when you have challenges of a disaster, or you have challenges of the loss of a job, or even a death in the family that can really throw a loop in all of your finances, there has to be an organization that steps up and says, we care. And it doesn't matter if you know, in time of a disaster, you can be the wealthiest person in the world, but you've just lost everything. So who is going to step up and say, I care about you. I care that right now you're in shock and you have nothing and you don't even know what phone call to make first. So we want to be that organization, whether a disaster hits right here when the tornadoes went through in 2010, or if Findlay gets flooded again, or another hurricane hits. We want to be that organization that reflects the love of this community and the love of Christ and says, we are right there. We have your water. Don't even think about it. We have your water. We have that food that you're going to need, plus a can opener because you have no power. And it's tough. It's tough to be able to gather all those supplies. It's tough to be able to explain what we do, why we do it, how the community to help. And you can't do that in a minute and a half. But you can only do that when you come in and get involved, and you come in and see what happens and how this all works. And it takes our extremely kind-hearted, generous network of volunteers and supporters and donors to all do whatever piece they can do. Some people can provide finances. Some people can only provide food. And we say, whatever food you provide is one more can than we had yesterday that we can take and pass on.
You know, the one thing, and while you were talking there, I was thinking about the fact that we are so lucky to have organizations like this. There are a number of do-gooders, or good doers, if you will, in the Toledo area, but we get tunnel vision. And Linda, you can chime in on this, Jennifer, you as well, but how much of this is actually happening around just like the work you guys do, is it happening elsewhere?
Well, it is, but per capita, for the amount of people that are in this local community, I can say that this community produces more. They give more than any place else, I can tell you that right now. But in this area, we are the only people that collect supplies. Even the Red Cross, when you call them, they say, send your supplies over to ISOH Impact. Most people do that, so.
You know, one of the things in a meeting, Jennifer, let me get you in on this. You've been sitting here patiently, but as you see the work that's being done, and I met a couple of girls just a couple of days ago that ISO has brought in, and they have found themselves overseas facing just tragic circumstances as far as not only war-torn areas, but medical mishaps as well. And ISOH has brought them, and you as a physician and looking at that spectrum of what is being done, give people a feel for how you guys extend that arm from a medical standpoint.
Actually, there's two aspects to this. One is the Lighthouse, which does bring in children from all over the world who need medical care. And they provide those services free of charge. We cooperate with local hospitals and physicians, and we get those kids the care they need, and they have a place to stay and recover. And when they're completely recovered, then they can be sent home. That is one aspect. The other aspect, though, which is the most exciting part for me about the International Hope Center, is that we are going to have medical offices there in the front of the warehouse, office buildings, where we can bring in people and give free or low-cost medical care for them. The other thing is that, well, there are people in need all over the world. There are so many people in need right here. Do you know 1 in 6 Ohioans lives in poverty? And that number is increasing in the Toledo area. In the past, about 10 years, it's increased 53.3%. And a lot of that has increased in the suburbs rather than in the inner city. So we think about the impoverished, we kind of think about downtown Toledo. People don't really think about that with Perrysburg.
Sure.
There's a huge percentage in Perrysburg of people that are impoverished. And actually, if you look at the statistics for children under 6, 1 in 3 children in Ohio under the age 6 lives in poverty. So what we can do with the International Hope Center is, and you can tell I'm so excited about this, we can bring in children and give them free medical care, take care of them, but if they come in and they don't have a winter coat on, I can give them a winter coat and send them out. Boots, send them out with that. If you've got a child that comes in, and the American Academy of Peds even just set out an article recently about screening your children for hunger, because there's a lot of children in America that are hungry, and pediatricians need to start looking for those children because they don't always come out. Parents don't always say to you, I don't have enough money to feed my child.
No, they
If
don't.
someone comes in and I discover that they are not eating enough, I can sign them up for Kids Against Hunger, and I can send them out with a meal today and meals for the future.
Yeah. Once again, we're talking about the Hope Center, the Hope Gala, which comes up this Thursday, the 28th, at the Hilton Garden Inn. We're going to continue our conversation. A very interesting fact, if you have ever been a part of the Bucket Brigade, there's a very specific reason that stuff is getting through to those areas that need it the very most. We're going to talk about that on the other side here on the Roundtable right after this.